Dear learners, in this video we will study about the definition of public administration as given by Herbert Simon, in which he states that public administration is meant as in the common usage all those activities which are performed by the executive branch of the government at national level, at state level, and at local government level, wherein he states about how the executive branch perform their functions. For example, at the national level, to enforce the national laws, foreign diplomacy, and budget and economic management. At the state level, about implementing the state laws, state level administration, welfare program, revenue and tax, law and order. And at the local level, the local infrastructure maintenance, the water supply and the waste management, the primary education, welfare. All these activities which are performed by different individuals, which are the key activities for the public administration. The definition given by Herbert Simon states that public administration, as meant in the common usage, are the activities, all the activities of the executive branch of the national, state, and local governments. The definition given by Herbert Simon is about what public administration does. It has the practical focus has been given, wherein Herbert Simon focus on what public administration does. It is about the activities and the perform and functions performed by that scopus. These activities which are not limited to just the central government, but it includes the activities of the state level, local level, and national level governments. At the national level, union or central government perform the the executive work, the executive branches which perform the work at at the national level, union or central government, at the state level, provincial government, and at the local level, the municipalities, panchayat, the local government, and the organizations which are responsible for performing the executive function of the government. It highlights, Herbert Simon highlights about the executive branch, which implements the laws, policies, and programs of the government, which implements the policies of the government. It has given a broader context in the Simon's thinking, wherein, as part of the logical positive school of administrative thought, he believed in a scientific and a decision making approach to administration. He challenged, Herbert Simon challenged the earlier normative and principle based approach and insisted on the rationality decision making at the core of the administration. That is, decision making must be involved at the core of the public administration. Moreover, he has laid the foundation for the modern behavioral theories in the public administration. The definition given by Herbert Simon focuses on the decision making aspect of the public administration, whereas in mean that the activities of the executive branch to perform the activity, decision making is at the core. Therefore, decision making aspect of the public administration is taken into consideration. Simon brought about a behavioral and scientific approach to the field of public administration, wherein he emphasized how decisions are actually made by the individuals in the organization and rather than their idealized modern models of rational choice. Public administration is about the administrating the activities of the group of individuals who cooperate to accomplish the common goals. In common usage, the public administration means all the activities of the executive branch. What does they do? They take decisions at a group level, the head, the individuals who take decisions, and they perform the activities. They perform the activities for the purpose of achieving the accomplished common goals in the common usage and the common goals, wherein the key components are the group activity. It is a cooperative activity. It is not an individual's work but a collective one, wherein a group of people work together within an organization structure that is in the executive branch of the government. The coordination and cooperation are essential. It is a common goal. Why? Because as it is in the common usage, it is a common goal, it is a purposeful oriented activity. The group intentionally act towards the shared objectives and all the administrative efforts are directed towards achieving the goals. Decision making is at its core. wherein the decision making is at the heart of the public administration. It is a program activity, routine, and repetitive work they require to do. They challenge, they rationalized, and they challenge the idea of complete rationality in the decision making, wherein because of the limited information, limited time, and the limited cognitive ability of the decision makers, there has they has to maximize the satisfaction instead of choosing one acceptable solutions. They choose the best one, and the practical decision making is at its heart. The decision making activity, it is a decision making activity wherein it is central to the administration. It is a common goal, purpose driven collective activity. Administration is a group activity wherein cooperation among the individuals takes place so that they could solve the complex situations and the practical problems which are arisen in the administration, wherein the different at different levels the executive branch performs their activities. Although public administration at the executive branch enforces, carry out laws at each level, they have similar functions, but it varies in scope. There is a differences in the power and the structure of the organizations and of the executive branch of the government at state level, at the national executive branch, at the central level, wherein it is headed by the prime minister. In case of a parliamentary system of government like in India, the key activities performed are first at national level. We are discussing about national level, enforcing national laws, which implements laws which are passed by the national legislature, that is example parliament. The laws made by the parliament are enforced at the national level. Foreign policy and diplomacy, it handles the treaties, international relations, and defense policies. The defense, the national relation, international relations, and handles the treaty at foreign policy and diplomacy. There is a defense and national security. It commands the armed forces, protects the national integrity, protect the boundary, budget and economic management. The fiscal policies, wherein the parliament, because of at its executive branch, it prepares the union budget, manages the national economy, taxation activities, the power to levy tax and tax collection as mentioned in the Constitution of India is handled at the national level. Administrative appointments appoints ministers, secretaries, ambassadors, judges. Regulation of national institutions oversees the central ministries like health ministry, education ministry, finance ministry, railway ministry, information and broadcasting. At the time of crisis and emergency, it responses, it declares emergency, it handles the disaster management, it handles the any emergency occurring at the level of national importance, and it can also impart help to the state governments when the need arises. The policy implementation, it executes programs and then like national employment policy, healthcare schemes, for example Ayushman Bharat, for the purpose of rural development. The executive branch at the state level which implements the key activities performed by them are implementation of state laws. It enforces laws which are passed by the state legislature, that is by the legislative assembly. At the state level administration, it supervises the state police, the police forces, the public services, the transportation, water, health, education, the broad heads of the services to be delivered at the executive branch of state level, which is in the common usage. Welfare program which executes the state sponsored schemes like free ration delivery, public distribution system, the state pensions, subsidies, revenue and tax collection. It manages state tax, sales tax, stamp duty, excise duty, law and order. The function of maintaining the law and order, it is with the state police and the local law enforcement appointments. It appoints the state heads of departments at the state departments, commissions, and public institutions. Disaster management, response to floods, droughts, epidemics, which occurs within the state. It coordinates with the central government, with the union government. It works with the national ministries for with the concurrent list, for example, education. environment, health, etc. The executive branches at the local level, which is headed at the municipal corporation or at panchayat system. The key activities performed are local infrastructure to maintain, to develop roads, parks, street lighting, public sanitation services, drainage of all the waste materials, drainage of water facility, water supply and the waste management. It provides clean water, garbage collection and sewage system and proper waste management system at local level. Birth registration, issuing certificate, maintain civil records, death registration, issuing certificates and maintaining the civil records. Building and land record regulations, approve the construction plans, enforce zones and the zonal laws. Public health services, it runs dispensaries, maternity centers, vaccination drives which are implemented by the public health services. Primary education manages the local schools, midday meals programs. Welfare services, it runs programs for women, children, elderly people and marginalized groups. Local revenue collection system, it collects the property tax, water charges, license fees. Therefore, the key activities which are performed by the executive branches at the national level, state level and local governments. These are, for example, defense, foreign policy, and the national laws, state laws, public policy, public health, police, welfare, and education. At state level and at the local level, the sanitation, the water facility, road, maintenance of records and civil records, local welfare, and education. Therefore, public administration, as meant in the common usage, are all those activities of the executive branches of the national government, state government, and the local government is defined as public administration by Herbert Simon.